what's up, guys? So we are on Marco Island. We got Captain Ron with us today, of course, Danny Duncan, Fishman Dan. Bugs are getting on you?
Yeah, a little bit.
Captain Ron is a tour, and he's going to take us all through 10,000 islands. Yep. We're going to visit Lulu Key, which has a crazy backstory, murder mystery, insane. The Indian mounds, the Hermit house. Yeah. But Ron, tell us a little bit about what you do out here.
I guide adventure tours. I take people on tours. I take you where you can't go by yourself without getting stuck and overheated and having, tear your bottoms up.
That's
Yeah.
So I take you on adventure tours. They're generally about 35 to 50 miles long. Today we'll probably do around 60 miles.
Okay.
And we'll go off to some Indian mounds. You get to kind of understand. I'll show you how they were made, and I'll show you maybe where the hermits lived after the Indians. And then maybe we'll hit Camp Lulu.
Oh yeah.
A murder mystery, huh?
Yeah, we'll go see
Can't
Camp
wait
Lulu.
to that. That's gonna be nice.
That's gonna be you one day if you keep messing with your wife.
Oh no.
And I also want you to notice that the damage to the 10,000 islands from Hurricane Irma, the brown that you'll see is it's all from Hurricane Irma. So when you see brown later in your videos, that's because Irma beat these trees to death. So this is significant. 80% of the mangroves that are in the path of the eye of Irma are dead.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you'll see it. You'll see it.
Well, that's that's never good to hear. But all right, so let's get this bad boy started. Ron, I appreciate you doing this. Let's get in the water and get wet.
Okay.
Let's go.
Got it.
So guys, we officially made it to Camp Lulu. This is where the murder went down many years ago. This was an iconic summer camp. You'd come to the island, and Alan, I can't remember his last name, but we'll have the link down in the description. He was out here running the camp. Him and his wife were going through a divorce, and he went back to land to grab some teenagers to bring them back out to the island. On the way back, his wife was ducked off in the bushes and literally shot him with an AR-15, if I'm not mistaken. And crazy backstory, but she, the boat ended up going out to the ocean. They never found him. There were a couple girls that were on the boat, and I think 2 of them they found from dehydration. They died. The other 2 were never discovered. But anyhow, the link will be down in the description to the full backstory on Lulu Key. But we're here, Lulu Key. Old fort here, Lulu Key, Bubba.
Wait, let me tell you where the body was buried. Come with me.
Well, the crazy story is the wife came back out here many years later.
Look right here.
And she was out here doing something. Somebody saw her out here. I want to say the Coast Guard saw her out here. They went to see what she was doing, and it was a grave site. They ended up finding the husband's skull and the AR-15 that she used to kill him. That's when she talked about the whole story. She kind of spilled the beans and just told everything that happened. But anyhow, again, link in the description, Lulu Key. We are gonna wrap up here at Lulu Key, head over now to another island where the Indian mounds are at. But guys, we are literally in the Everglades. Incredible. 10,000 islands, there's so much out here. I do not recommend coming out here without a guide. I mean, you could easily get lost. But today you guys get to come with us through this lens right here.
Something right here, Randy.
What do you got?
I got a kneecap.
You got a kneecap?
A kneecap. That's his kneecap.
That's his kneecap. Danny found Alan's kneecap. Anyhow, Ron.
Yeah.
Awesome spot, buddy. Appreciate you bringing us out here. This
cool,
is absolutely. So you guys may not be able to see, actually you can't see it, but just on the other side of that tree line right there, around that tree line, probably a good 50 miles is Marco Island.
I got dinner. I got dinner.
Dinner!
got dinner.
Lulu Key.
Got a live pork grill. Really, it's a shell dump. It's a waste dump that the Calusa Indians, they dropped, you know, whatever they ate, all the shells, the oysters, the crown conchs and all that, and then they would just throw them away, and they would make these mounds, and they would shape these mounds to be like fish traps. Like the center of this is hollow, and the tide would come in, they'd close the gate and catch all the fish.
Nice.
You know? So there's rolling hills back here. You notice it goes up and down?
Yep.
There's hills back here, some 20 feet tall. And so the Indians, after they got this thing, you know, as big as they wanted it, they'd move on to it and use it for a hunting and fishing camp, you know, and they'd live on top of each one of the little hills. So it was the Calusa Indians that started it. Then the Spaniards came along. They tried to use this. They couldn't. It's not fertile to grow anything on, really.
Oh, yeah.
So then there was 3 houses out here, 3 settler families in the 30s.
The Hermits.
No, and then the Hermits.
Oh, okay.
So the last hermit was named Narajan. I met him. I used to go by here all the time on my jet ski. I'd go by. And finally one day I stopped, and the guy was really nice. He walked me all around. He had groomed trails all over the island. This was like a groomed front yard, right to the water. You could see everything. Beautiful, you know? So Hurricane Andrew came along and he left, and the state knocked down his little shack he had back there. This is a cistern for fresh water. This was from the settlers that settled here, the three houses. There's 3 of these here.
What do you think the date on this is?
Well, it's probably late 1800s that this was built. And
So, can I get the key to my new apartment?
Guys, this is incredible.
Yeah, we're moving in. Climb on in. So anyway, when they knocked the hermit's shack down, me and my buddy showed up right after, and everything was on the ground. So we're going through it, and I found his diary.
No way.
So I got the hermit's diary, and it's got like entries telling me he was in like a coffin buried in the ground at ground level, not buried, right, ground level. Pull the door shut, latch it shut, and that's where he laid for the storm.
Really?
For Hurricane Andrew. Yeah. So
Here?
And then the last entry was, I never want to be on a barrier island in a hurricane again. That was his last entry in the book.
I cannot imagine going through that.
So I got this moldy old, because it got rained on and stuff, moldy old diary of this guy's, and he was an old curmudgeon, you know. It was time for him to go anyway, you know.
Bless him, bless him.
And you know, there was like I think 5 to 7 hermits in a row that lived here. So this shack that used to be back here, it was shingled with beer cans. They would knock the ends off, roll the metal out flat, and like an office stapler to staple it to the wall of the outside of the shack. And that's how they'd keep up on their shingles. And they would, it was in a shingle fashion, you know, rows like shingles, but it was bush beer cans.
Wow.
Right? You know what's really unique about this is look what they did to make the walls. They used mixed here, and they used the oysters
Mixed in with the sand.
Yeah.
Pretty good work. Guys, this is pretty incredible. So we're on Dismal Key with Captain Ron showing us around. The Indian mounds are out here, but man, so impressive, the history out here. Just learned a lot about the hermit that was out here. And actually, I'm going to talk to Ron. I want to see that diary. But as soon as Ron comes back, he's going to check on the skis. We're going to venture our way up into Dismal Key a little further. And I want to see where the hermit lived at. And anything else I can get out here, anything else I can see out here. This is incredible. Look at these guys.
Come into my house?
Daniel!
Hey, buddy, I just got my new apartment.
Hey, I always knew you were a hermit.
Well, I'm getting ready to get it furnished. You can see down here.
Do you have a permit to be a hermit?
Do you got a
Yes, sir.
permit to be a hermit?
Listen, I gave first, last, and security for this place. I think this guy's ripping me off.
Uh-oh.
Nothing really to see except I'll show you where the shack was, and you can tell the elevation. We're going up. Look back behind you.
Oh yeah, for sure. Absolutely. We're going uphill, that's for damn sure.
This is where the shack stood, right here.
This was the hermit
This is where
shack?
the shack stood, right here.
Guys, this is incredible. Right now I'm standing on the foundation where the hermit shack was, and you heard Ron earlier how he made it through the storm, was buried himself under sand from his neck down and hunkered down, and that was his hurricane shelter. You know, just waited it out, bunkered it down, and in his diary Ron said his last entry was he never wants to be stuck on a barrier island in a hurricane again. But anyways, the guys made it down here, downhill, and apparently the hermits like to drink. So he said there's like some mounds of like beer bottles and old cans, and let's go check it out. All right, what do we got here? Whoa. So this is the recycle bin. Dude, these are like super old bush cans.
There you go.
Randy,
Wow.
you want some beans or you want rice with it?
Pork and beans.
Hey, no telling what was cooking there. Dude,
And
look
that's
at
all these guys did.
That's an old can.
They
Look at
go
that
clean
can.
somebody's porch or scrape the bottom of a boat and get some beers
some
and
bush
beer
can
and come back out.
Yeah, these are guys, this is
Look at
that cap.
The range, though, the hills. You see how we're
that's an old bush can right there. Captain Ron has taken us into Hermit Town.
Wait till we go to the next Indian mound.
This is crazy. Look at the oyster beds. They would build them up so that it made like a ravine down in here, and when it would flood, this would literally catch the fish inside the ravine here, and that was their way of catching dinner, stocking up. Look at all these old cans and bottles. I mean, this is crazy. You know, there was some moonshine in that. These guys were out here cooking, brewing, drinking. Typical Florida boys. Hey, all right, so it's a wrap.
Absolutely.
Dude, that was amazing. Captain Ron, dude, showed us all through some crazy areas. Lulu Key, again, the murder mystery. What else did we do?
We went through some windy turns, some crazy turns.
Definitely do not recommend doing this without a guide or knowing the area. You could easily get lost out here. But Lulu Key, then we stopped at the Hermit home, dude, where you bought your new condo.
Oh yeah, I got me a new condo.
You got him a new condo. First, last, and deposit.
Yeah, so I'm good now. I'm good.
Anyways, guys, check out Captain Ron's page. It's evergladesjetskitours.com. A great guy, phenomenal guy, knows this area like the back of his hand. He's one of the only guys that does a tour into 10,000 Islands. Right. But that's it, man. I ain't got a whole lot to say. Let's go home.
I'm out.
10,000 Islands, Marco Island, guys. Jet ski, Everglades, jetskitours.com.